become the place where gossip comes to die. So tell people that come to you to share gossip with you, just tell them, I don't have any opinion on that whatsoever. Period.
Welcome back to yet another episode of
Cultures from Hell.
This is the podcast that tackles the less flattening aspects of workplace culture. I'm your host, Lars, and today we're diving into a topic that most of us have probably encountered in one way or another: gossip in the workplace. It's a phenomenon that can affect trust, morale, and ultimately productivity. Joining me today, as always in our show, is our resident expert and co-host, Paulina from Culture Code Foundation. Paulina, welcome back.
Thank you, Lars. As always, great to see you.
Yeah, likewise. You need to find a company name that I can actually pronounce right.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to rebrand.
Really?
Yes, really. But you can shorten it into CCF.
Hey, I'm going to do that next time. This is Paulina from CCF. Paulina, as always in our shows, we are talking about gossip in the workplace, and we start out with the basics.
Yes.
What exactly is gossip in a workplace context, and why do you think it's so prevalent?
Well, so first of all, gossip in the workplace is extremely common. I would actually say in one way or another, it happens almost everywhere. This has to do with the fact that we humans are communicative beings and that we define ourselves by belonging to a group. And gossip can create a very important false sense of belonging by excluding others, aka the people that we do gossip about. And it's so important to say it's a false sense of belonging, because if people get excluded by gossip, that automatically does drive the fear that I might be next if I don't fit perfectly. And that in turn leads to fear of doing things differently, which then again stifles innovation and productive discourse, effectively killing any diversity of thought or action you might have within your team. So it has a huge impact on the business side of things. And of course, gossip also becomes seriously problematic for mental health, especially if gossip is hurting people personally, or when it is designed, and that happens more often than we believe, to undermine careers intentionally.
And like you said, it probably, or I wouldn't say probably, it happens in any workplace one way or the other. I think we have all been there. I think we have all been part of gossip, either on one of the sides that it happens. And we also all know that it can be extremely toxic to any workplace.
Yeah.
So we received a rather thought-provoking story about gossip in an HR department where an employee is constantly asked about the performance of others, and management even tries to, and hold on to this one, even tries to take advantage of a relaxed atmosphere to gather information. What is your thoughts on such a situation?
Well, let me quickly recap the story for all of our listeners out there. So this is the story of Claudia. And Claudia actually was asked by the head of people and culture in her business what she was thinking about other colleagues, even colleagues in the people, HR department. So her direct co-workers. So, and Claudia was actually asked continuously if she thinks that people are loyal to the business and if they are doing a good enough job in their specific line of work. And she was asked that about not just her direct co-workers, but about people across the business. And Claudia reported that she, over time, figured out that this was a pattern from this head of people and culture, because she would, this people of culture, no, this head of people and culture would ask multiple people these exact same questions. And what Claudia found most disturbing was that the manager actually went around at company events when people were drunk or buzzed and asking those exact same questions at these events, because she was hoping that people had their guard down and because of the alcohol and would be more open to share stories or potentially even dish out the dirt on people and not just talk about their performance or loyalty, right? So this is Claudia's story, and especially the part of about interrogating colleagues in a relaxed and less guarded situation is, from my perspective, extremely harmful behavior. From my experience, if you have senior leadership actually driving gossiping situation, is once more a sign of a really bad leadership culture. At least it doesn't necessarily have to boil down to the entire company culture, but the leadership culture for that specific person is really bad. And can be a sign of inexperience, can be a sign of lack of control, can be a sign of own anxiety, because they might need to know more about other colleagues just to protect themselves. But just doesn't sit well with me in any way, because it feels like you're trying to take advantage of people. Ugh, I hate it. Right? So I very, very strongly believe that leaders should do whatever they can to actually address any gossip within a company and to help their teams see how harmful this kind of behavior is. And if, on the other hand, just like in Claudia's story, they actually exemplify gossiping, they normalize that it is okay to spread stories and even lies about your colleagues.
And I think this raises some important questions about trust and psychological safety. How does widespread gossip generally affect the culture within a company?
Yeah. I mean, you basically said it right. So it does undermine trust. It creates insecurity, and that over time will lead to poorer collaboration and lower engagement. And that is it always, our discussions so often come down to trust and psychological safety. At the end of the day, those are the two cornerstones of a healthy company culture. And if you actively undermine those two pillars, then things will crumble around you. So you might also see a higher turnover rate or also a higher burnout rate, since constantly being on alert around your own colleagues is a real pressure cooker.
And like I said earlier, I think we have all been there. I think we have all been in a workplace where we have experienced gossip to some extent. I don't think that anybody can say that they've never tried it. So if you as an employee feels that there's a lot of gossip going on in your workplace, what are three things that are important to keep in mind or to do?
Mm-hmm. So before I go into concrete advice here, let me just say there is obviously very, very different levels of gossip, right? So not all gossip is like super detrimental and is going to destroy your business. There are small gossip things that I think are not a really bad thing. But as soon as it becomes into talking about people in the background, on the one hand, this is what becomes super harmful for the mental health thing. And the other kind of really bad gossip or rumors is when you start spreading rumors about the business itself, like we are going to fail, the product is just not going to perform, there are going to be layoffs, etc., etc. because that also creates huge insecurities, huge amount of fear, etc. So there are very, very different levels of harmfulness when it comes to gossip. And I don't want to address like the first part of it, but I want to like the small, less harmful things. But I would definitely recommend, in general, try to stay away from gossip as much as you possibly can. And so, coming back to the concrete to-dos that you can change. So first of all, you can start with a 1-day gossip fast. So just really tell yourself, I'm not gonna gossip at all myself for 1 day. And after doing that, and you see yourself gossiping again after that, really feel into the aftertaste of that gossip. Really let it sink in that it's not a good feeling actually to gossip about other people. There will always be a little bit of you that realizes that that is not a good thing to do and that it's not fair towards others and that you would hate if others would do the same to you, right? So that would be like the first level of how you can detach yourself from gossiping. The second step, which is already quite progressed, is, I love that, become the place where gossip comes to die. So tell people that come to you to share gossip with you, just tell them, I don't have any opinion on that whatsoever. Period. You can add, I care about you, but I really don't care about getting involved in any gossip. So you can just leave it out there, right? And if you want to take that to the pro level, you can actually try to change other people's mind about involving themselves in gossip. And for that, you could ask them, how can I help you formulate these thoughts that you're having, that you want to share, that you're sharing with me in a way so that you can address the person it concerns directly?
I absolutely love that term. Become the place where gossip comes to die. I love it. I'm gonna put a mental pin in that one. I want to be that person. I really want to be that person
Yeah.
that kind of sucks it up and just spits it out again. Like, this is where it comes to die, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for giving concrete advice. I love it when we on the show can like put like say like this is concrete advice how to improve workplace culture. This is the essence of the podcast, right?
Exactly. And with this topic, I mean, the last week's episode, we didn't have the most applicable advice for individual contributors or individuals, generally speaking, and more so towards the leadership side of things. And I personally love it if I can give real advice to every individual within the company so that they feel less powerless, that they have the feeling that they can actually influence their workplace culture. And when it comes to gossip, this is actually down to every single person in a business. And it is really, really easy to change something about this topic from your
Yeah.
own personal perspective. And I love that.
And speaking of that, now we have giving advice from the employee side of things.
Mm-hmm.
But from a management perspective, what concrete steps can they take to minimize gossip and create a more open and trusting communication culture?
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up as well. I mean, obviously, every leader or executive can also follow the steps that I've mentioned before, but they can obviously also take it to a completely different level by addressing gossiping head on. For example, by saying, we don't want anyone in this business, or I don't want anybody in my team participating in gossip. And if you do have any issues you want to discuss or you think are important to bring forward, first of all, try taking it up with the person that actually concerns it, or come to me so we can address these concerns together. because that also effectively stops people from running around talking to 15, 16, 17 people about the same thing, or at least it offers them a way to do it differently. This is especially important in situations where there is a transformation going on within your business, so that people feel also safe to bring their concerns forward, or so either transformation or a specifically toxic leadership situation going on. Because in those kind of situations, rumors and gossip usually run wild. And you want to get ahead of those things, right? You want to be the one that people address these topics to, and you don't want to have this negative influence of the gossiping situation going on if everyone just runs their mouths off to each other. So you want to be the person that people come to before they start spreading rumors and gossip. And obviously, like always, it is just important to follow through, meaning take people aside that continue spreading rumors and gossip and address that topic head on with them. Don't just say we're not going to do it, but then accepting that people still do it. You have to follow through.
Yes. Take them aside. Don't be afraid of speaking up. And again, be that person where rumors or gossip comes to die, right?
Yes, that's the one.
Paulina, based on your experience, what is a popular myth about workplace gossip that you'd like to debunk here on the show?
Well, in terms of the topic we're discussing today, I would like to debunk the idea that gossip is needed as social glue in a company. Most of the time, gossip and rumor is harmful. It is hurting people personally, or it can even destroy careers if things go really out of hand. But since gossip is often a sign of people feeling insecure, and in times of great change, rumors and gossip are just very widespread. So those times specifically should be used to address topics transparently and openly to reduce the fear that then leads to the gossip and the rumors.
Very important. We have often talked about on the show that we are learning from our mistakes, right?
If we're doing it right.
That's why we are so wise, because of all the mistakes we have done.
Yeah, I like that. I like that perspective, Lars. We have failed ourselves to wisdom.
Greatness. We have failed our way to greatness. But with that in mind, can you share a mistake you've seen companies make in handling gossip that in retrospect has been an important lesson?
Yes. It actually comes down to the topic that I've just mentioned, like in times of turmoil or change. One of my employers actually went through such a time of transformation, and there were rumors about layoffs and which departments would be hit hardest, and that we basically were about to fail economically in the grand scheme of things. And then we had our town hall, and the C-level just said, "Stop the gossiping. It's not helping anyone. Just stop it." Blah. So they basically, they did part of it right. So they addressed that there were rumors. They addressed that they didn't want to see that anymore. But what they were lacking was the second super important part when it comes about gossip: offering a safe space on where to address your concerns. So they didn't address the rumors that that had already been spread. They didn't debunk those rumors. They didn't share transparent information that would help people feel more secure or give them space to vent. And so basically it was just a top-down order: just shut the F up and don't bother us with it anymore. And the effect of that way of handling the gossiping situation was actually the total opposite of what they had wanted to achieve. because people ran their mouths off even worse than before, and the rumor mill was just spitting out new things every other second, and it became so much harder for the team leaders and managers to actually get this into a healthy discussion. Let's get it moved into a healthy discussion, and most of us leaders failed in doing so because the trust was eroded so badly to the upper management that then the employees were just thinking like, yeah, no, this is just being said to like keep us calm and whatnot. So it completely backfired.
And I just want to underline what you said before, the thing about like offer people a safe space to vent out all your questions or all your concerns, and being transparent. Because like you said, like it's perfectly okay for leaders to say, we need to stop the gossip and the rumors that's going on. But at the same time, they need to address it and say, like, this is the truth. This is what's going on. Because speaking the truth or speaking or addressing the gossip actually helps killing the gossip, right? Because
Exactly.
then there's no more gossip to spread around.
Exactly.
Paulina, as always on our shows or on our podcast, time just keeps flying. So we need to wrap this up. So please summarize what we have talked about today.
Yes. And thank you so much for this really important and good conversation around the topic of gossip and rumors. We have looked at how gossip can poison the work environment, how it can undermine trust, and ultimately harm both the people and the business itself. So the key takeaways today are probably the importance of transparent communication when it comes to rumors, clear guidelines regarding behavior, and that every employee not only has a responsibility, but also the ability to contribute to a culture where there is less gossip, less rumors going around by simply not participating in gossip. And Lars, I'll cite your favorite quote by becoming the place where gossip comes to die.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, everybody who's listening to our show. And if you, as a listener, want to delve even deeper into topics like workplace culture and positive environments, please go follow Paulina and Culture Code Foundation on their website. We will leave all the links to the website, social media, and so on in the show notes. So thank you very much for tuning in to Cultures from Hell. Join us next time as we explore another fascinating aspect of workplace dynamics. Until then, take care and cultivate a culture of growth, not blame.
Thank you, Lars. And to all of you out there, we'll see you next week.